attracting and retaining businesses, strong local intergovernmental cooperation, location, proximity to areas with fast growth, access to national and international markets, good infrastructure and accessibility, a long history of planning and zoning, strong projected population growth, skilled workforce with good work ethic, availability of workforce, land, and housing. The perceived weaknesses regarding attracting and retaining businesses and industry include lack of mass transit, lack of dedicated funding for mass transit, brain drain problem, mismatch between educational attainment skills and job skills desired by employers, perception of deteriorating air quality, need to prepare for and invest in the expansion of infrastructure, lack of understanding about the importance of agriculture and its contribution to the economy, lack of entertainment venues, lack of hospitality services, and perceived reputation as a blue-collar community. Other weaknesses included growing concerns over housing needs, jobs in Kenosha County pay lower wages and salaries, negative perception associated with casinos, lack of retail, and then also perceived as a weakness was the history rooted in manufacturing. The last section of the chapter talked about the economic development goals, objectives, policies, and programs as developed by the county and SURPAC and the group. This was done again through various exercises and assessments that were put together by the task force. Opportunities identified included the diversification of jobs and businesses, development or attraction of new businesses, and the expansion of transportation. The history of manufacturing in Kenosha County was identified as both a weakness as well as a strength. Although low unemployment was identified in the SWAT workshop as a strength, Kenosha County's unemployment rate was higher than the region and the state in 2006. So based on the information provided by CAVA and MGAC, it was advised that although it's anticipated that the county will see future investment and growth in the manufacturing and engineering industries, the county must be willing and able to attract a diverse business mix. Diversification of jobs and businesses was viewed as one of the top 3 opportunities in the analysis that was completed. So the following specific economic development issues were identified: employment, labor force, business location, and attracting and retaining desirable business issues. As set forth in the chapter, goals and objectives were identified using the data and public input outlined. Recommendations for local government considerations have been prepared and are set forth in this chapter. The goals for economic development: encourage and identify desirable, diverse, and sustainable businesses, attract and retain jobs, identify economic and educational opportunities that will ensure job growth. Objectives included identifying a variety of business clusters, encourage countywide and regional cooperation of economic development issues, encourage cooperation between schools and businesses, retain farmland, encourage agricultural venues as a viable part of our economy, capitalize on tourism. Another goal was for economic development goals and objectives: promote an adequate number of jobs in the county, promote the addition of new jobs in the county, encourage business development, and encourage business development that matches the educational attainment of residents within the county. Under the labor force issue and recommendations, the goal was to promote an adequate supply of workers to meet the employment needs. Objectives: promote educational programs to prepare workers for the jobs in the desired businesses, promote a labor force of about 88,500 workers available to Kenosha County businesses by 2035. Business location issue and recommendations: goals to promote an adequate number of sites for business retention, expansion, and attraction, maintain and enhance the agricultural industry in Kenosha County. The objectives include promote an adequate amount of suitable land supporting infrastructure, protect the lands that are identified for agricultural, natural, and cultural resources, promote redevelopment of underutilized commercial and industrial land in the county. Attracting and retaining desirable businesses issue recommendations. The goals include attract desirable businesses, retain and grow existing businesses. Objectives included maintain positive attitudes or strengths, address the weaknesses, protect the lands. That pretty much covers the second or the third and the fourth sessions of that chapter. There were quite a bit of comments and discussions raised at the Plan Commission meeting regarding economic development and retention and jobs which was very good for this process. I'm not sure if the village board has any other comments or concerns regarding this chapter.
Mike?
Why is there such a large increase in the social services area, 81%?
Because of the aging population that is going to be projected. And actually our next chapter is our opportunities chapter, and it will talk about by 2035 there will be such a large percentage of persons in this county. In fact, the tail end of the baby boomers, which I'm a part of, all of us will be over age 65. So social services and other types of needs for seniors in the county will be very important.
I think that's a little more subtle than that, is that, the population demographics are changing. But the amount of citizens that need special care, whether development is disabled or delayed development, is growing. Autism hits 1 out of 3 kids. Those kids are maintained to adulthood. Another thing that's been a little more subtle is that the state is decentralizing. What before everybody was institutionalized, and now that's really been determined to be a bad thing. I agree with that, but so a lot of people are now coming out of the areas where before they weren't having that. So that is all coming back out to communities where that didn't exist before. So you got 3 major things that are really driving the equation. So.
We're looking for a motion to receive and file.
Second.
Did you approve it?
I was looking for the right motion. Steve seconded me for it.
What?
We need a motion to accept the draft proposal and send back to the committee.
So,
Yes, sir. Motion to accept and send back to the committee. Motion by Mike, second by Steve. Any other comments, questions on this item? There was a report out today that wage dollars in the manufacturing sector in the county did go up. So this will be a product that will get continually brought up to date. So, hearing no other, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carries. Item G is then to consider resolution 07-79 to initiate a zone text amendment related to the uses in the M2 and M1 district.
Mr. President, members of the board, resolution 07-79 is a resolution to initiate a zoning text amendment. The village board may initiate amendments to the zoning ordinance, which may include the rezoning of property, change in zoning district boundaries, and changes in the text of the ordinance. The village staff, in working with the Plan Commission, would like to take a look at the village's M1 and M2 zoning districts as it pertains to one of the principal use items and conditional use items: plastic materials and synthetic resins, synthetic rubber, and synthetic and other man-made fibers and products. This use is currently a conditional use within the M2 district. There have been some great modifications and changes with respect to fire protection codes and ordinances and requirements within new warehousing buildings over the last several years since 1983, including the installation of new ESFR fire protection systems. And so the village staff feels it would be appropriate to take a look at some of the uses to see, in particular, this particular use, as to whether or not it could be moved into a principal use designation as opposed to repeatedly requiring a conditional use permit. So the staff is not asking the village board to make any determination regarding the merits of this change this evening, but is allowing the staff to reevaluate and take a look at this particular request and bring it back to the Plan Commission for public hearing and to